Greasy salutations. Hey man. Um, what's up, little baby? What's up, book? I ain't gonna lie to you. Was watching Brian the AD Drew, man, and was trying to listen to the conversation. Got caught up, but I was watching the replay for the game too. Um, I ain't gonna lie to you. It wasn't a game I watched live. Like I watched live, then I listened live. So I went back and forth. Shout out to my son. We said it a couple times, but happy birthday. So we had his birthday, went out yesterday, and while all that was going on, I watched as much as I could until it was like, hey, it's time to go. And then when it was time to go, I listened, and I listened when I got there. Yeah, man. Um, that's not what you do. That's not how you um get anything that you want, right? Just being transparent, right? Kind of watching that game, it definitely changed how I feel about some things in the program, right? Uh, and that's just key. I'll be honest about me, transparent about my 2 cents. I feel like FAMU's a little stuck in the valley. So, let's get y'all ready for that Friday show or Monday show. I said Friday show. Look, yeah, we got a Monday show. We're gonna talk about that. You already know what it's always about to be. Thanks.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!
And that might be the knockout punch.
All right, greetings, salutations, y'all. Good to see everybody here. Let's see. There we go. Making sure I didn't hit no buttons that do anything kind of funny or anything like that. But if you're a FAMU fan, right? We definitely a little stuck in the valley, right? You put a little extra light on me, I'm looking over there in the background, feeling like use a little extra light, man. A little early. No, I'm late tonight. But yeah, man. Look, it's good to see there. Look. Yeah, man, Jordan. I agree, man. Man. What's up, Marvin? Hey, it's gonna be an interesting time to see. Yeah, man. Football season's over. That's definitely a good thing, man. So football season being over can't be a bad thing, right? Pleasantries, good brother. Man, great Thanksgiving, man. So I did turkey legs, I did ribs, and what else did I do? Hot dogs. There's something else I did on grill. Oh, I did like a chuck roast. So I saw it on YouTube, tried it out. It was really easy, man. It's called like a poor man's brisket, but yeah, man. And look, I'm gonna double check. I'm about to message them. We're supposed to be at the Hoops Invitational, so not this loss got you calling Monday, Friday. It really did, man. It really did, man. Hey, look, how's it doing there? Look, appreciate that, Miss Harris. Good to see you there. So, Coach. Hey, man. Look, wish you the best, man. Hollow, I'm with you, man. And the Monday night review session, the only good for this game is the plane didn't crash on the way. Everything else, yeah, it was frustrating, man. But it kind of is what it is right now. As y'all can see, though, like the season's been kind of where it's been, right? Like we can kind of get overly upset about this, so we can be honest. Shout out to the wife, she picked this up at the event. But yeah, my dog keeping his distance the last 24 hours. Ooh, yeah, man. Yeah. We jumped on shout out to J Peeps because we were coming back and I looked up and I was trying to watch them and JP's like, hey, I sent you an invite. I'm like, all right, man, I ain't gonna do you like that, ignore the invite. But I had to get in the shout out, man. Look, so if you didn't catch the post game, Instant Reaction, Troy Fat Mouth Sports, Kev from ONG Strike Zone, cousin Kelvin, myself and Jay Peeps. Good time, man. And I came a lot later, but it was fun and good time, man. Yeah, man, very, very frustrating there. But we kind of did our thing there, man. Look, we're not gonna belabor the point. Y'all know what to do. I'm just rooting for someone associated with the highest 7 hills. This year's been rough. It has been. Absolutely. Absolutely. It says expected. Okay. I didn't expect to lose that game. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Now, I will say, shout out to the SWAC champions, FAMU volleyballs. At least we got something. So, we got the girls. They're doing their thug thizzle. And they are going to be in the Texas regional at the University of Texas in Austin. Not the only Florida school. So it's them and USF that are going to be going together against Texas and Penn State. I think, was it December the 5th through the 6th? So we're looking at, what's that, this weekend? So Friday, Saturday. So more than likely we'll start seeing this tip off on Friday, man. So good times there, man. So look, me and Jay Peeps gotta take a trip to Tally and straighten things out. It ain't gonna just be you. It's gonna be very interesting, man. Maybe basketball is gonna kick back up, I believe on the 2nd there. So we do get that going. We need some wins. I'll be honest, when it comes to FAMU men's basketball, I honestly don't care until we get to the conference. I don't know how many games we're going to win, and I'm okay with that right now. It's Charlie's first year, and I think that's the difference between men's basketball and women's basketball. Men's basketball, I have no expectations. I would say no, but I have no expectations until we get to the conference. Women's basketball, I really don't have high expectations right now because I haven't seen much. I'm hoping for the conference to see some change, but it just is what it is right now. Like, the team is who they are. I can't change the fact that they're not a winning product and that they've been losing. So, and it's that year where pressure is being applied to coach pressure. So, we all know how that is. But let's get to the football game. We are going to do the Monday night review show. So for those who are so inclined, I was trying to get it to click over. Computer's acting funny on me, man. It knows. That's what it was, man. That's what it was. So Monday night review tomorrow. Myself, ONG Strike Zone. JP's already like, hey, he's in. So we're definitely got JP's on. Probably gonna try that Troy from Fat Mouth Sports on. Just try to get Super Friends, Avengers together 2 times. I know. We're gonna talk about this one. And then we're going to try to do a season review the following week. So that way we have something to, kind of cheer about, be excited about, not just lament this game and then just turn the page. And in full transparency, I've also kind of banged the table for that because I expect some change. I could lie to you. I could be honest. And y'all know I like to be real with you at all times as best as possible. I just like to be honest about the situation. I see some change, and I'm not calling for change. As y'all know on this show, I've never said the coach should be fired. I will say this: a 5-7 record, a loss in the Florida Classic, consecutive loss to Mississippi Valley State does not bode well for the future of this program. Like that, and that's just me being transparent and being honest, right? Like, instead of sugarcoating this, and I am sugarcoating it, this does not look good. Now, and we're way early on this, I do have issues with firing the coach, and they're all budgetary. But yeah. Anyways, just kind of going back watching the game, and we're gonna delve more into that later, right? Offensively, there was hope. I will say this: the turnovers are what killed you. Like, kind of going back and watching it, RJ's 3 interceptions were killer. The first one off the double pass, okay, some of that's play design, some of that he probably just needs to eat the sack, right? But again, everything's happening so fast that I play. You have a quarterback who he can read defense a little bit, but when the pressure gets hot, he tends to make mistakes. But for the most part, it wasn't as bad as the outcome makes it seem, right? Thad does run for over 100 yards. That was nice. Like, watching the run game was solid. Like I said, the 3 interceptions were the killers. Like, because you go late into this game and it's 35-31 with 10 minutes left and you never make it back. Like, so I'll say this. Offensively, I think you definitely made mistakes, but I still saw some of the growth from RJ that we gave him credit for, which you also saw, the 4 sacks, 3 picks. Hey, man, it is what it is. Like, the season's over now. So you either going to roll with the punches or not. It's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward, especially if there's a regime change. I think if there's a regime change, you might see some of more of the players that you think would transfer stay. But I think if the same regime's here, it's going to be a mass exodus, especially in the quarterback room. I think there's only one quarterback that comes back, and that's just me being transparent. But yeah, the turnovers are the killers. For me, when you're looking at the game, the constant killer was defense. The defense, even in the first half, they had their moments. But just watching this defense, and I shout out to somebody in the group chat, right? You are, right? When I was watching the defense, and I was kicking myself because I was like, I asked Colsey the question about our secondary. I asked him the question of what was wrong. I never asked him the question of, does he think the defense is too complicated? Our defense is too complicated. Like, just going and watching, when I watched their offense go against our defense, it was very simplified plays. Like, our defensive line, sometimes they get on, sometimes they don't. But when they didn't, what you saw a lot of times was Valley used their quarterback's ability to get rid of the ball quick. Like, they used it via play calling. It was, okay, he can't just sit up here and hold the ball all day long because our offensive line can't hold up that long. But when they did, they did. Like, our secondary, I was looking at too much zone defense because they're running these short routes and we're already giving you 5 yards, which we've talked about this before, right? But schematically, it was another game where I looked defensively and I felt like we set these kids up to fail. And certain players in particular, like, I saw 19 in man-to-man coverage. I mean, he batted the ball down a couple times, but he also, against a better receiver, was getting cooked. Like, this defense needed to be simplified. And that's, I think, if we go back looking for game to game to game, right? You're going to come back to that constant idea and that constant statement that this defense was overly complicated. Like, it was an academic ran this defense, almost that offense, versus a football player running the defense. Like, good football players understand. And honestly, good teachers too, but especially good football players and football coaches understand that your players are best and at their best when they don't have to think. And for me, when I'm looking at this defense, what we should have done versus what we did was we should have loaded the defense with very simple coverages, very simple formations. And as the student athletes show that they could master those, make the defense more complex. I think we just ran a very complex defense for most of the year, showed people different fronts and different formations, hoping that we would kind of confuse them. And we confuse ourselves. Like, you're looking and you see the players. Look at Amari Lee sometimes in coverage. He's thinking. He's not reacting. You're looking at just in general. Like, I go back to last week at the Florida Classic. The strip. Like, why in the world are you running down the field with somebody and you're trying to strip them opposed to pushing them out of bounds? It's because he's thinking. And his versus, man, I'm beat. Oh, well, let me try to get out of this the best situation possible. It's, let me try to make a play. And what's the biggest play I can make? Like, and I'll disagree with you. I'll disagree that I don't think they're untalented. Go back and watch. A lot of this is coverage. There's a lot of zone coverage going on. There's a lot of thinking going on. I may be in the minority here. I don't think they're completely untalented. I think some of it they're in coverage too long. I think we're overthinking. We were overthinking that defensive front situation. Like, I think the fact that you lost Westmoreland, you never moved off of that as a coaching staff. It was like, man, that was supposed to be my home run hitter. We don't have that guy. Now, how do we get pressure? Versus, hey, you know what? We don't have that guy. We just got to run with our best four. And after the front four, the other seven got to fix it. And I think we did too much thinking versus, hey, let your front four do something. And even when injuries kicked in and kind of limited some of that, you look at our defense, it's overly complicated. And look at the results of what happened. Like, grad student, I think, was it UCF? I want to say UCF, something like that. But they're not untalented. The scheme is horrible. Yeah. Like, it's a bad scheme. Like, because go back and watch even this game, watch other games. When they're not thinking, even on the defensive line, they show some promise. But when you got guys being double teamed and outmanned, I think anyone who says coaching is right. You're not wrong if you're saying coaching was the issue. It was definitely something where I don't think they were coached up right. And I don't think they were put in the positions to succeed. I think the coach even said that. I think he admitted that. I don't think they were completely devoid of talent. I do think there were some guys that shouldn't have stayed on the field. I'll say that. I look over some of the guys that you brought in recruiting, you didn't use. Like, what's the point of bringing in all this talent through the transfer portal, Distant and all these guys, and he don't get nothing more than special teams? Like, that doesn't make sense, especially when you're seeing some of these guys struggle. Like, rotate some of these guys in, give them help over the top, because you're seeing where some of these guys are struggling. Some of the things that, when I'm saying coaching wise and you're not devoid of talent, these guys are going to look talentless when you don't protect them. But when you know some guys are lacking in some area, you're supposed to, coaching wise, protect them. Like, if a guy struggles in coverage and he's your best guy in coverage, put somebody over the top. I didn't see enough of that. And even in that game, in this game against Valley, I looked at the beginning of the game and, we had some moments. But when I looked in the second half, you're getting your lunch handed to you. And even, what was it, offensive tackle? I think he's number 52. Yeah, he had some bad film. Like, a couple of those plays where RJ gets sacked, he didn't have a shot. Like, it's easy for me to come up here and be like, RJ threw 3 picks, he had 4 sacks. Man, there was 2 sacks where he just had no shot. Like, he couldn't read the defense. Like, it's like, oh, get rid of the ball there. And you're like, how? What is he supposed to look at? Like, again, I know I'm not his biggest defender, but when I'm looking at it, it was one of those games where it wasn't great. And it was one side of the ball that just was terrible. It was defense. And that's frustrating when your head coach is a defensive guy, because your special teams was actually special. Like, you get 2 amazing kick returns. Like, amazing kick returns. We hadn't seen that all season. Your long snapper makes a tackle and hypes up the team. Like, but defensively, man, we were getting eaten up, man. Man, what's up, Cedric? Man, you see, yo, to the good news. I'm in the sun side. You could have my seat. Hey, it's gonna be interesting, man. because they flew to Jackson, and end result, not what we wanted. 5-7, losing season, 35-31. 2 years in a row, your Valley's only win in the SWAC. I believe their only Division I win 2 years in a row. That's nuts. I will say this, though. Kind of going forward, right? And this is my frustration with this entire situation, right? By losing and going 5-7, you are messing up stuff. Because all of a sudden, this is what we're looking at. And it's an interesting situation for me because I'll be honest, you almost have to make the move. Like, and I'll go even further with you. If it's me, there's 2 calls I'm making. Like if I'm Michael Smith, well, 3 calls I'm making. One is obvious. And it's to see if there's going to be some change or if there's not going to be some change. And if there's not going to be some change, there's going to be some change. You take that how you feel about it. But the other one, if there is some change, first call is Tremaine Jackson. I don't know how anybody could say you're doing due diligence if you don't make that call. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there's 1A and there's the other 1A. And it's Tremaine Jackson or Quinn Gray right now. If you're a FAMU, obviously the fan base wants Quinn Gray. I'll be honest for Keith, it's either Quinn Gray or Tremaine Jackson. It's one of the two. Because, and why is that? Why do I have it like that? Why do I say that? Largely because for me, I just feel like that's the best way that you do it. Like, Tremaine Jackson has applied for that FAMU job twice. Tremaine Jackson sat up there and literally begged people to come to a football game. A 10,000 seat stadium. We literally had a video. We made fun of it. Everything else. Where's my line? Where's my line? Where's my line? And all of that. And he got 3,000 people to show up for their homecoming. I'm just saying. There's no way on this side of heaven that you can convince me that that's not appealing. And hold up, why would he come here? Well, first and foremost, Willie Simmons already done it. Like, Willie Simmons literally did the exact same thing you're doing. He went there, he won, then he left and came to FAMU. Like, the only difference really resource-wise, they have a newer stadium and a better weight room. I'm just saying. Like, what's up, Troy? Look, make sure y'all follow Fat Mouth Sports. Catch Troy tomorrow. He'll be with us. That was sad and very disrespectful. It was. Like, that's why you come to FAMU. Because what you won't be doing is begging people to buy tickets for homecoming. That's why you come to FAMU. You will not, if you are having a decent season, the same season, let's switch sides, all right? Not, let's switch records. FAMU has the record that Prairie View has. James Colsey would not have been out there begging people to come to homecoming, talking about where's my line. And why else would Tremaine Jackson want to come here? He's applied for this job twice. He has recruiting ties. He understands what it means to recruit in this area. So why is he a great hire? You may not have the weight room facilities and the locker room facilities, but you have everything else. You have the support from the fan base to get those facilities. I think that's something that you lack at Prairie View, because we can talk about what's not there now, but if I can come there, and he is a guy who creates culture. He's created his own culture. Thank you. Say it for the people in the back. He's a proven winner. Y'all know for me, I like proven winners. I like people who've won, who have rebuilt programs. He's done it in multiple areas. He rebuilt Valdosta State. This would be his first time being at a school where the people actually show up to football games. Like, don't let people fool you about Valdosta State games are packed. They're not. Valdosta State plays at a high school stadium that has more people on Friday than it does on Saturday. Let's call a spade a spade. So this is your first time, and he has that personality. To me, that's my first call. It's either him or Quinn Gray. Like, what are the other choices outside of the SWAC? I think you start looking at those Division IIs like the Fair States and other things like that, but then that's where you start running into those issues of you used to this culture. Like, it's easy to throw West Florida's guy out there, but is he gonna want to come here? Like, that's just me. Like, you just said that about Tremaine, but he understands the culture. That's a difference when you're saying, I'm bringing you from this culture to this culture. Like, there's levels to this, in my opinion, where you got to kind of understand the monster you're going into. I think with Quinn Gray, he gets that monster. I think if that's a move you're going to make, then he gets it. Because I think that's just me right there. What role do you think next year APR might play in the coaches coming in if they know you won't be able to even compete Celebration Bowl? Huge. I mean, again, there's reasons I've said that as long as Colsey didn't have a losing season, I was here. I was here for it because I get the APR. He's actually done a pretty decent job. But my other thing is I don't like the idea of FAMU paying $1 million in football coaches' salaries. That's about 1/10 of your athletic budget just to the salaries of the coaching staff for one program. That's asking a lot. Like, you're asking, or you're choosing to spend 10% of your athletic budget on one team. And you're going to turn around and tell these other coaches they can't get stuff. That's a tough sell. Just for me as an employee, you tell me that I can't get something, but he got something else. I use examples of in my own house. I hit my daughter up the other day, like, hey, we in church. And she over there looking to the left, like, hey, he doing the same thing. And I'm like, you got a point. How do you tell, even though they're not revenue producers, how you tell the volleyball team, the golf team, the softball team, they can't get stuff. And then they turn around and be like, but I got a trophy. What they got? That's a tough sell. That's just me. Like, so we didn't do it for Willie when he won 5 years, 9+. All of a sudden we do it for him. For Tremaine? I mean, you did do it for Willie, though. You redid the field house. Willie got a new stadium. Granted, that was the city of Tallahassee helping to chip in, but he got a new stadium, new press box, new field house. Like, Willie didn't get everything, but let's not act like he got nothing. He got the cooling stations that the boosters and the 220 Club pay for. He got the health and nutrition program with the muscle milk that the boosters and the the 220 Club help pay for, which is still not enough, but it's a step. Willie got something. Like, we let's not act like Willie got nothing. Like, he came in, and you may not get everything you asked for, but he got a lot compared to what other folks was getting. Like, he got a lot now. We got to be honest with that. Go get Byron Left for why? What experience did Byron Leftwich have here? Like, he's got NFL experience. And if you're a Buck fan, you might not love that. Like, let's That's a decent name, but we got to stop saying everybody's for FAMU. That he's never coached at this level. He's never dealt with us, and he's going to get real frustrated with his personality dealing with us. Like, FAMU ain't for everybody. And I don't think FAMU's for a guy like Byron Leftwich. I think let him cut his teeth somewhere else. But FAMU shouldn't be his first. FAMU should not be your first HBCU coaching job. It doesn't normally work. We've said this before. You can throw out all the names you want to. Very seldom has it worked, even with FAMU grads. Regardless, if anyone wants to give up their spot on the shade side, hit me up. There we go. Okay. Hey, I ain't mad at you. APR is not as bad as we think. He's made huge progress. Look, I've been banging that drum for a while. Like, I don't know if y'all just saw one of the players posted he's graduating. Like, the APR thing is solid, man. Like, and this is very true. And how real question is, why hasn't he been fired yet? I mean, it's Sunday. I mean, you know, I would suspect stuff's going to be moved to Monday, but there is an interim athletic director. Like, that matters. I know Marvel was at the game, other people were there, but I think Monday we'll see some decisions being made. Like, mindset change must be made. It's not about the past. Let's work for a better future. Thank you. And get away to start in the new coach. You're not wrong. He is getting it now. Willie's definitely getting it now. Fire coach with an overall losing record. I mean, 5-7. That's not the standard. And I don't know if y'all caught the BCSN, right? I got to give AD Drew his credit. He was talking about Southern and talking about really in the SWAC. It's become a trend where second-year coaches are getting fired. Grambling, Southern, these are the HBCU blue bloods. And they're saying losing is not a standard. Like, these guys won championships last year. The next year, terrible records. Hey, man, y'all know that's a call people like to do. I know y'all, but hey, what is it, bro? I'm just saying. I've said it before. I've said it again. Some people like him more than me. My biggest struggle with that decision is you're gonna have to put a staff around him. Like, and what was learned from the Cookman experience? That's my biggest thing, because you can't air out the clip. And that's one of the things about Colsey. I'll give him his credit. As much as you want to say about Colsey is not aired out the clip. There's things that he's dealt with that he ain't talking about and that he just dealt with. And I respect him for that. Whereas, is Eddie Reed going to give us that same grace? That's a question. And unfortunately, this is what the old people used to tell you, right? My mom would always say, have some tact. It still does. Even on the show, she's like, certain things don't talk about. You can't say this. You can't say that. And I may not want to hear it in the moment. But later on, it's like, yeah, she's kind of right. You can never take back what you said. Once you say it, especially in this generation with social media and everything else out there, it's out there. It don't matter how much you apologize to people. Once you said it, and you said it, especially with some conviction, it's out there. And I think that's part of my, and I'll speak for Keith and nobody else, hesitation with a guy like Ed Reed, because he's passionate. I love that about him. I think the name would be great, but that track record concerns me when I know what FAMU is. I know what FAMU can be, and I agree with you right there. We haven't forgot about what happened at BCU. Like, as much as we ragged them, we joked about them, we had fun with each other, it's a real rivalry, it's much more of a sibling rivalry than people understand. Like, some people actually hate them. I tell you all the time. I know I was a Marlo and them. We had jokes, we had fun, and I was like, hey, I don't really hate them. Like, speak for yourself. Okay, we'll do. But there's a lot of times where we do a lot of business with Cookmanites. And, you kind of start to realize that somebody going to do Cookman a certain way, you're probably not going to do FAMU much different. That's my concern. Like, just saying. And we're not waiting to go 0-11 before we see the light. I agree with that. Like, right there. Now, one thing Willie did admit was being spoiled by us because he don't got the fan. No. I think, what is it? Did y'all see the report today? I think I retweeted it on the fifth quarter page where they're talking about attendance for the conference, and they were like 11. It's like 10 or 11,000. Like, even with FAMU doing bad attendance reports, we're still averaging for the season like 14, 15,000. And one of those games was like 18. And homecoming was oversold, 25. So, like, terrible. Yeah, no Ibis. Like, and no, I dislike them. I don't hate them, but and they are family, Troy. You are right. Like, I would tell y'all this, and Troy can say this too. From the media side of this, I've been treated very well by Cookman, and I know Troy can probably say he's been treated better by Cookman than he has by FAMU at times. But there's never been a time when I've called Cookman, UCF, and they hadn't got me straight. And, Josh and Dennis always, they take care of me, especially, this year, Dennis, he moved some stuff for me. But Cookman's never been a problem with me, media-wise. Like, they're always solid. And one of the beautiful things about Cookman, the same jokes we have, that's their reality. And they understand their limitations. So while we joke about it, they live the limitations. And so they're like, yeah, man. And that's exactly the point. We don't like what happened to Cookman. Like, believe it or not, we actually took it personal. Like, a lot more of us took that personal than you would believe, to where it's like, yeah, bro, you can't, that's our rival, but you don't get to talk about them like that. We can joke on them, but we wouldn't have exposed them like that. Like, just saying. I don't know if he's not serious. I know he's at a high school position. This is for me, and I'll say this. I think Marshall Faulk just gave you the test for what it takes if you are serious about this. Warren Sapp, I think he's just good being a position coach. I think a year at a school like a Colorado, maybe even a Jackson State, as a coordinator or a position coach, especially if you have that access. I know UM would be a tough sell, but go to a Duke where, I don't know how you feel with Manny Diaz, whatever, but Willie Simmons just showed you can parlay that into a head coaching job, right? Go to a school like that, be a coordinator, get an HBCU job in 2 years. I think that's the more serious route versus just waiting on one of us to open up the door, because I don't see it. Kozilek's creative offensive skills as secondary coach with experience, man, it's terrible, man. I think, like I said, defensively, it starts with line of scrimmage. It's too complicated. Like, our secondary is horrible. And I'll be honest, I think part of the problem for a lot of the fans when they're saying, like, make a change, is because we see what's going on at Jackson. We see what's going on at South Carolina State. We see Southern's trying to do something. We see what's going on at PV. And I'll be honest with you, I'd be shocked if that dude stays at PV for like 10 years. I don't see that happening, just because they've got to generate fan support to where he's not begging, because he's going to get sick of that. Like, it's just like when you were a woman, you get sick of begging a woman to do something. You're going to find it. Like, and that's just on man. Same thing there. You can get tired of begging people to come to a stadium that seats 10,000 and then going other places You come to FAMU, it's 18, and you're not our homecoming opponent. You go to Southern, and it's 30, and it's not homecoming. Like, you can get sick of that crap. And so I think that's what's going to be what pushes them out the door, man. Never on Ibis. If we leave for FBS, I wouldn't leave for FBS right now. Not when we're seeing like the attendance numbers of what they are. Like, you're gonna do some things different business wise to be able to get to that number, and hopefully, it's almost a better decision just to stay where you are right now. Folks want to think that there aren't people out here that will snap up shade size seats in a heartbeat. So I won't take any threats on non-renewals. You're serious about that? Look, because my pops is one of those quick to be like, yeah, I ain't renewing my seat. And then next thing you know, my mom be like, you gonna lose your seat again? Like, it's hard to get your seat back at Bragg. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, on the shady side, that's a tough thing, man. I understand second chances, but for Ed Reed, I need to see more. You have to show me. Yes, that's where I'm at, and I agree. I think the frustration, and this is where, like I told y'all, I've come around on this. Like, I've been on Team Keeper Colsey really into the Classic. Like, I'm glad y'all couldn't see my face. Like, because I was literally looking up and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to ask. I don't know what I'm going to say. And he could feel the pressure. He could see it was on him. But until this game, I was wholeheartedly like, I can do another year. I get the business side of this. I don't want us spending $1 million in football coaches. At this point, I'm with the herd. Like, as much as I want you to succeed and I want you to stay, you got to show me something. And I didn't see anything in the Florida Classic where I don't feel like Cookman's coach did a great job of coaching. And I didn't see anything against Valley where, honestly, I feel like you got out-coached. Like, just watching the game on your side of the ball, that's your specialty, you got out-coached. And so, because I'm seeing that, and the herd mentality has already been what it's going to be for Quinn Gray, I said it last night. I'll say it again. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And the more and the deeper Quinn Gray goes into the playoffs, the higher the price gets. And that's the frustration, because you're going from a place where you could have probably got Quinn Gray for $200. Entry-level Quinn Gray fooling around and finding out and having a championship might be a $300,000-$400,000 football coach that's got one winning season at the collegiate level under his belt. And because of what schools like Southern have done, you got to pay the price. Otherwise, you got to deal with that, what you have, which if you're paying him $400, you got to pay Colsey back to $250. That's $650, and you ain't paid no coordinators. Like I said, you can easily get into a place where FAMU is paying $1 million in football coaches' salaries, and a quarter of that would be dead money. Like, that's the problem, and that's the biggest issue there. Nobody's coming to see losing, and I think the sell for Quinn over Tremaine Jackson is the fact that he's a FAMU, and we know FAMU fans' affinity for FAMUans. Like, for some reason, this little bit of color right here means so much on the application. You put on the application, oh, I went to FAMU, and you applying to FAMU? Oh, man. Yeah. He got this amount of years experience. Oh, and he went to FAMU. And you'd be like, well, dang, I guess they're going to get the job. Yeah. Like, just saying. Who are the top 5 SWAC and MEAC OCs and DCs? Can I be honest? I don't care. For me, outside of Jackson and South Carolina State and maybe Delaware State, there is no offensive defensive coordinator in this conference I would really be looking at. Like, I've said it before. I don't like the incest We need new thinkings. Why are we saying top 5 in the SWAC or the MEAC? Why aren't we saying top 5 at Division II, top 5 at the FCS? Why are we limiting ourselves to the HBCU sphere? Because when you start kind of looking around, you start to realize more people want this job. Like FAMU is not that bad of a job. It has its challenges, but every school at the FCS level is going to have challenges. Like, just saying, but we got to get to a place where we not only that SWAC MEAC don't mean that you get the job. Like, I think the best person should get the job. And honestly, if we're being honest, we get to cozy because the SWAC MEAC hours. You know, I know y'all saw the Rattler blog thing. A lot of truth in there. But I think a lot of that, the cozy hire, was the fact that we didn't like what Tiff was bringing in. And anything was better than what she was doing. And we got to get away from that, because anything is better than what I have gets FAMU fans and us in trouble a lot. And in this case, like, I saw that Jerry Mack got that USF job. That's huge. And I think that bodes well for, I don't think Quinn Gray is an option for a Kennesaw State, largely because you don't have a Milton Overton there. But I think that's huge for a guy like a Trey Oliver, where you've done everything you can do at North Carolina Central. Do you have that connection? That's a question. So not trying to be like sarcastic. Do you have that connection? That's important. Like, FAMU cheap, they're not doing 400. I won't say we're cheap. Cozy was getting one of the highest salaries in SWAC until last year? Like, let's be honest. You know, I wouldn't say we're cheap. I would say we lack the structure in the athletic department to consistently generate revenue. Like, that's something we've been missing for a while. Like, but I don't know if cheap is the right way to say that. I think we are cheap though. Like, but I don't know if that's the way I would put it there. How much would our payout be for assistant coaches if we release Cozy? I thought they were year-to-year contracts. I could be wrong, but I thought they were pretty much like a yearly contract. So I don't think it would really matter for them. The reason I get to $1 million as potential buyout or potential coaching expenditures is that Cozy's owed $250. You're going to pay, if it is a Quinn Gray or a Tremaine Jackson, you're going to pay them $300-400. Like, so that's already $500,000. Then you start looking offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. That's another $200,000, probably close to 200 or like 160. So now you've already hit 700,000. You list a couple other coordinators in there or position coaches making 45-50 a piece. You're already at 800,000-900,000. Like, so that's how I got to that million number. Have a buyout fundraiser. I love that idea. I honestly, this is my personal opinion, and I shared this with somebody. I think, especially with our athletic people, and I don't know if they're listening, but if my Friday is, I hope so. I would do a quarterly athletic drive. And you have the people either donate to that Rattler Athletic Fund or some auxiliary that allows you to use those funds for athletics. And you can use those, find a way to have those funds go to coaches' salaries, go to facilities, go to NIL, go to the different issues and things that are related to athletics, so that when you have this situation come up, you got the funds to make moves. I almost said to fire folks, but you got to do some stuff to make some moves. And you have to steal other ideas from other people. Jackson State has a great idea where they tack on a percentage for NIL into their tickets. Raise the ticket price by $10. That $10 goes to NIL, and do it for football, do it for basketball. Those are the only sports you charge any money for. And then going forward, for your student fees. I know how legal it is, but for your student fees, have a portion of that go to NIL. Raise the fee $5, $10. Not a lot. Don't kill the kids. For your application fee, I'll be honest with you. Look, I feel like sports is your front porch. A part of my application fee will go to NIL. It'd be like extra $5, extra $10. But application fee to apply to FAMU, portion will go to NIL. Why? There's going to be more kids that apply to FAMU that there will be admittance. So all of a sudden, if we get 20,000 applications, $10 application fee, or whatever, but $10 of the application fee goes to NIL. What kind of funds did you raise? What kind of money did you get? Like, you got to find new ways other than just asking me to pay every time something come up, because I do when I can. Sometimes I can't. So just saying, SU pays $500 and contributes $180 to $200. Yeah, Southern Stadium also seats about 30,000. Size matters in this game. Like, we can talk about what Jackson State's doing, but we can't argue the economy of scale. Like, you are out of the SWAC Blue Bloods, you probably have like the second smallest stadium. I think Grambling might be the only one who has one smaller. Like, if we're talking about FAMU, Southern, Jackson State, who else would you consider a SWAC Blue Blood? Maybe Grambling. But out of those three, FAMU's got a small stadium, 18,000. Ain't no 20. The economy of scale starts to creep in. The lack of a premium club, a true premium club, not the North End Zone suite, but an actual like large scale press box. Southern has a end zone press box area. They have a regular press box area. Like, that stuff matters in generating revenue, and you've got to use some of these ways to modernize. You could call ASU a blue blood? Okay. I don't know if I consider them a blue blood. I think they're always a contention. But for me, and I've said this before, Alabama State to me is the Buffalo Bills of the SWAC. Like, maybe the Houston Oilers of the SWAC. I would probably say the Houston Oilers of the SWAC, because they have really good seasons. And probably Buffalo Bills is better, but they rarely make the championship game. Like that, and I could be wrong, man. The OC in D2, they do. Like I said, I wouldn't knock West Florida. I mean, granted, they lost the other day, but look at the kids he's recruited. Look at his recruiting principles, the kids he's brought in. Like, just saying. Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that too. Yeah, I heard that too. What's up with the volunteer coach? You need to go. That's a lot of coin. It is, man. I think coach has been waiting for Cozy to flop. I don't know if they've been waiting. I think they're frustrated too. Like, I really do think they're just as frustrated as we are with the product. And the ones who came from North Carolina Central, I feel like they're like, man, we left a good job for this. Like, that's crazy. I'm looking at other winning FCS programs and seeing what they have. I found the DC from Ocala. Yeah. I'm just saying, 50 people applied. Oh, yeah. And that's not me trying to like hype up the FAMU job. It's going to get people to apply. And the usual suspects will likely apply again. I'm not guaranteeing this. We do know more than likely Quinn Gray's going to apply. He's definitely going to be contacted to apply. My personal opinion, I have no information on that. That is reckless, irresponsible speculation. But we're just going to say that. I wouldn't be surprised if Tremaine Jackson applies too, though. Again, one season out there, and you just struggling to get people to come to games, and you're winning. I can go somewhere else and get better. And his personality fits FAMU. I'm just saying, like, Coles can let go of the power won't change. I think they do. The person she won and only won 2 games. Look, that's my thing. as bad as you want to ride FAMU people for that, and I'll put that back up there, we weren't wrong. Like, we weren't wrong. Kids is not winning it in NCAT. Like, he's not. And even against his rivals, he getting mollywopped. Like, I think they had 2 wins this year. Like, Cole's got more wins than that. I granted the competition level ain't the same, but you know, is TC the highest? Okay. Should be though. Should be. I appreciate that, man. And Colsey came back of what Miss Tiffany was doing. We did not go out and look for anyone. No, we didn't. Nope. And honestly, okay, USF is not hired a coach. Okay. That's why I was like, I saw something, but I don't know if it was true. I think I put in there like I saw it, but I don't know how good the source was. Release the DC back to community now. And oh yeah, like again, some of this is inflation. Like you look at FAMU's salary when we offered the contracts, it's competitive. Now, yesterday's price is not today's price, man. So just saying, man, you know. Let me just start off the GoFundMe. The fact we barely beat these teams is crazy. You're not wrong though. Like, and I think to your point, that's part of the issue though. Like you have how many of us asking you to donate versus having that single leader. And we know not just Black people, but people in general do better when there's a single leader that they can follow and that says, let's go this way. Like, what's the old African proverb? If you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go together. That's the problem we're having. We're getting people who can go fast, but we don't have the leadership to go far. Like, and that's just me. And just to sign the president special. Hey, I'm just telling you, man. Do we have revenue sharing? I think we just brought that in this year. But yeah, man. I think they do. But as you mentioned the other day, Troy, the state has given the universities abilities to use like 28, something like that, $1 million. I don't think it would be very difficult considering how much the state of Florida and the state university system prides itself on athletic prowess to get them approve a $10 fee for sports and athletics. I could be wrong. And if I am, I am. But I wouldn't doubt it that they also understand that, man. When you donate, just place on your notes on your check where you want your money to be allocated. Yep. Football socks. I know when we do that. Yep. And y'all forgot Florida is different from the other states. We are absolutely different, man. So, and Troy's got Blue Bloods, Southern, FAMU, Grambling. You want to include Jackson State? Ooh, okay. The FAMU recommend the right thing. I agree. I think one of the biggest gifts, and I ain't been hard on Marva. I've been all right. I think one of the best things Marva Johnson's done so far was find a way to retain Angela Suggs. That was genius because what you did was you kept somebody that has their fingers on the pulse of FAMU Nation, that knows all the prognosticators, right? Like all those loudmouth people, she knows us, but that also is close enough to the streets to know we're not lying about stuff. Like we're not just pulling stuff out of our behinds. Like we listen to y'all, we talk to y'all, and then we come on our platforms and we're like, yo, this is what the streets are saying. And we don't always say what we know behind the scenes, but I think that was an important keep. And I think when you brought in John Davis, what you brought was someone who's connected to some FAMU people in some high places who may not completely understand the FAMU culture, but who's willing to let those that are highly influential impact his decisions. And also let Angie do her thing. Like, I know she's not the AD, but you'd be a fool to think she's not going to be very impactful on what's going on with some of that stuff, man. Like, I'm just saying. That's me. That's why I say, look, game recognized game. I don't think he's happy at PV. That's why I make that call. Like, I'm Trey Songz. It's Mr. Steal Your Girl. Like, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Freak your feelings. I want to win. In the words of Jay-Z and that man that's in prison, this is personal. This is business. Sorry. Ain't nothing personal about it. Like, if you wanted them, you should have tried to keep them. But I don't think they're doing anything to keep them. Like, that's just me. Only because I work in sales, I get folks to buy PS for $20 quicker than give me $1. Folks need a tangible. I agree. I think, and the Fang Exchange is great at this. Like, one of the things the Fang Exchange did, they did that box thing. I think going forward, when you're trying to get people to do these NIL and stuff like that, again, I would tack on hidden fees and stuff, but give them tangible stuff to buy. My wife got that at some event. I don't know. But hey, she gave it to me. I appreciate it. This right here, hey, another gift. FAMU and gave me this. Shout out Jones. Appreciate you. Like, and I display it. Like, and guess what? Y'all see it on the shirt. Hey, where you got that shirt at? Oh man, I gotta go find it. But then y'all want to go buy it. Like, I can't find that football jersey nowhere. I want another one bad so I can just frame it. Like, the basketball jerseys found. I saw the baseball jersey on Fan Addicts, but we will buy that stuff. Give us stuff tangible, and you'll see the money go up, man. Like, and okay, yeah. I was about to say, I can't deny JSU's a blue blood, man. When you start talking about WC and, WC Gordon, gosh, Jackson State's got tradition. Like, the Boom has got tradition. Like, it may not be my preferred band, but they got tradition. Like, yeah, we can't deny that, man. He did beat South Carolina State. Look, that 7-5 year for me, I told y'all, that brought a lot of grace. It was the 5-7 year and the loss in the Classic. 2 years double losing the Valley. That's the bad part. Like, you gotta get over that, man. You need 8 nationals to be HCC blue blood. You silly Troy. Tell Marvin Lottery, man, to bring some money. Maybe no net crew. Can find somebody. I really feel like they're gonna find some money, man. And she need money to bring first. I mean, I think when you ain't hire some of them, never mind. Let me stop. I was about to say something. Ooh. There's a reason some of these vacancies are there. I'll say that, man. I'm pushing D-Jack. He's interviewed for the job. I don't know about Deshaun Jackson. The only reason I wouldn't for Deshaun Jackson, I don't know if his connections work as well in Tallahassee. I think for Delaware State, his connections are amazing because he's not very far from Philadelphia. You can leverage that. It's part of how they got that Classic up there. That was something where him and Vic both have a connection there. When he comes to FAMU, the only real connection that he's going to be able to use is bringing California kids or keeping them. Maybe like, Jet Petty or something like that. But I don't know. I don't know if he would bring a lot to FAMU, man. But yeah, I'm with you, Troy. I was just bringing the band for funsies, man. But they had a nice little run for a minute, man. But yeah, no D-Jack for me. We have some QBs that can throw the ball around. I think that's the big thing too, though. Like, just looking at this program, right? When you looked at it, RJ didn't have a great game. Rewatching it, it wasn't as bad as the 3 interceptions led me to believe. 2 of them are horrible picks. The first pick, some of that's play design, some of that's not understanding it. He's just not that guy. But I think the last 2 picks were horrible. Like, and they did contribute to costing you the game. Because for the fourth quarter, after Valley gets that stop, granted, at the end of the game, they just took a knee and shut it down. You could have got the dub. And I think that's the frustrating part. You want Ocho Cinco? I don't know. I don't think you're ready. Like, We'll clarify. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna leave y'all alone with that. Horrible scheme. Players not being used properly, not having the best level in the field at all times. I agree with that. Like, I'm just saying, folks about the most tackiest just because it's orange and green. For real. Like, Mike's not lying, because I ain't gonna lie to you. That Rays hat was fugly. Like, I got it because I'm a Tampa Bay Rays fan. I'm a Rays fan and I'm a FAMU fan. I'm looking at that Atlanta Braves hat, and I don't even rock with the Braves no more. But that Atlanta Braves hat was fire. I found one online. I ain't gonna tell you where because I'm trying to buy it myself. But like, I think let's find a solution to this, right? So we can get up out of here. One, I think coaching wise, I would be shocked if there's not some announcement tomorrow. Just we didn't have a post game press conference. I know they said there were internet issues. I just would struggle to see it going farther. I think in the past, we're at 24 hours now. I think money is being found or will be found to make a decision. And I'm not calling for it, but I'm saying it's almost to a place that with this fan base, this is untenable. Like, you can't sell that to the fan base. And you can't sell it to the fickle folks who will let their season tickets go. You can't sell that. So I do think in the end, the solution, what's Jeremy Foley's quote? What must happen eventually, must happen immediately. I think that's going to become the solution. I think from there, you find 3 coaches. That's it. There's no need to do a search firm. There's no need to do all this other foolishness. You select 3 coaches. Tremaine Jackson should be one of them. Quinn Gray should also be one of them. Anyone after that, that's fine. But you give first right of refusal to those 2. And you can pick your order. I'm indifferent. I'm not indifferent. I think Tremaine Jackson is a great hire. But I understand why Quinn Gray is probably the better hire. That's just Keith. I think from there, you utilize as an athletic department and as a university, you utilize the relationship that you have with Angela Suggs and John Davis to go find money. And from there, once you go find the money, you put systems in place to keep trying to bring in the money to improve your facilities. And one of the things you have to do is you got to take a lesson from the people across the street, because one of the things they've done with Doak is made it a place that's not just a football stadium. It's got to be a place that you use for multiple events, concerts. It's got to make money more than 5 times a year. And even with that, you've got to generate within those 4 to 5 times a year areas that reach multiple price brackets. You got to hit the people that in the $50K and below levels. You got to hit the people that are in that $60K to $75K level. And then you got to hit the 100 plus. And for the 100 plus, it's got to be an experience that they want, that they value, and that they're going to continue to spend on, and that they're going to travel for. To me, that's the trick. Because what we've seen is that in this economy, the economy is really catered towards the people who have the higher end, who can afford more, because they're still going to spend. They're not being squeezed as much as the people in the middle and at the lower ends. So you still got to get all the money and try to get all the people, but you got to find a way to continuously get those funds. So I think that's the solution. And I think what you learn from this is contract writing. Like, you learn how to write better contracts. You learn how to do a better vetting process. And I think, I don't know if Marvin does this or not, right? But I think athletic director wise, you find a better way. Like, we've done this 6 times in 2 years. Like, something about how FAMU does athletic directors is wrong. Period. It doesn't matter whether it's a person that's good, like Angela, or if it's a person who's mid, like Tiff, or if it's somebody's interim, like Michael Smith, or it's people who don't want to be here, like the interim before, Michael Smith that was just here. Like, you have to figure out what about FAMU structurally is so broken that we can't keep athletic directors, because it messes up stuff. Like, say what you will about Courtney Gaucher. Courtney Gaucher's time created stability that lasted even after he left. Like, he didn't hire Willie Simmons, but he created an area and a place where it helped Willie be the success he was, even after he was gone, to where when Willie was dealing with BS with Tiff, it was like, hey, you still gonna win. Like, and you're not wrong. We can't blame FAMU this time around. It's not our fault, but it's just something where we're continuously having that problem. Courtney was straight. He was a good athletic director. And can we say this? He was he had no experience as athletic director, but he did really good. Like, FAMU's been lucky 3 or 4 times with having athletic directors who have no experience doing the job that hit home runs. I would argue, I don't remember Milton Overton had experience before, but Ken Riley was a home run. Overton was a home run. Courtney Gaucher was a home run. Like, just saying, like, and exactly. And I think going forward, that's what you need. You need somebody who can push the needle, who gets that in the modern landscape. Much to Mike's point, you can't just ask me for money. It's got to be bigger than raffles, because the raffles weren't wrong, but the raffles in context were flawed, because everybody does a raffle. You go to UF, they do a 50-50 raffle. And I'm not telling you somebody told me. I've witnessed it. I don't know what I hit. The Orlando Magic games, they do a 50-50 raffle. Like, you go to the Bucks games, you go to NFL teams, they do 50-50 raffles. It's not something that they just don't do. But when the raffles are the primary fundraiser, that's when it becomes issues. And I think we have to get to a place where we build relationships. And you're not wrong. I don't even know Courtney was the assistant. He was like a business manager or something at UM, but he came from Miami. So yeah, Willie asked for a raise, and she said no at first. That was foul. Like, straight up. Multiple times he asked for a raise. Like, there we go. I think, as I stated, bring the raffles back. Don't raffle off bags, but raffle off experiences. Like, I know for me as a fan, I'll pay you more for an experience than I will for a tangible item. Like, I do got the FAMU LeBrons. I promise you I'm not doing that again. I wear them often. Now, them white ones, I got the FAMU, the white whatever ones, the Pegasus ones, I almost never wear them. They're just too hard to keep clean. But what I would do is bring Marquise Bell there, Xavier Smith, raffle off an opportunity to have breakfast with them, lunch with them. That's an experience. Hey, one of them are coming to Tampa and they play the Bucks. Raffle off some tickets to that. And included with that is you get to meet the players. That's an experience. Like, and then on top of that, include ways to support your NIL and your other athletic programs that are built in. Include those. Hey, put a fee for this and say it's for NIL. There you go. Bring LeBron to FAMU and have him come there, release a new LeBron sneaker or something, charge people $400-$500. You get to have a lunch with LeBron, and it's not a personal lunch. We get that, right? LeBron's just in the room, like how they do at the club. Like, Lance Gross is at the club, and you pay the price, and you party with Lance. Now he in VIP, but you was in the room partying with Lance, right? Do the same thing with LeBron. He releases a new shoe, new FAMU shoe. Everybody who gets there, $500. You get a pair of the LeBron shoes in your size so that you can wear them. You get to have a lunch with LeBron. And then all of a sudden, his media team gets behind it. So it does two things. It pre-sells a shoe for a certain price. Athletics department gets a fee. And so they get some of the money. And then LeBron gets good publicity. Like, I think those are some of the ways that you can do some of that. I don't know if you raffle off liquor, liquor laws, but, raffle off a bottle of some of that, FAMU good. Hey, $10 in. Once we hit this, is there 21 up for that one? Like, have those. Have events where the boosters and these different organizations are working together. Like I said it once. I said it again. It makes no sense that the boosters don't have an early access to Bragg Stadium. I get the security stuff, but membership should have its benefits. For being a Rattler booster, you should have a section in the stadium where you pay a certain price, and instead of tailgating way over there in the tailgate section, no, you're a booster. You come to the stadium, you just get the tailgate early and have it cost the price. Again, these are the people directly supporting your athletic department. What does that do? That makes it look good. That makes it look appealing. You can get them little blow-up couches. You can get some little Temu sofas. They say them things real soft. Like, I wouldn't even raffle off jerseys. Straight up sell them. The jerseys that are old, that are just sitting up there and collecting dust, continue to sell those. Like game used jerseys, $70, $80, whatever. Like, because what does that do? That gets you into a place where you're selling the merchandise. The fans are getting game used merchandise, and they're going to pay a premium price for it. And do even more if you can get it signed. Get a Marquise Bell. Get a Xavier Smith. Like, just saying. Hello. The only reason I don't like the plastic ones, they get kind of hot. But if you're in a shaded area, you got some fans, it might be straight. Like, I think some of this is just finding solutions to the problem. And we're going to see probably in the next 24 hours. I'm speculating on that. But I would be very surprised if by Wednesday we don't have a decision. And I would say next Friday after, you don't have another decision. But we have to explore some of these ways to raise funds and make it better. Because otherwise, we got the same old problems, man. All right, y'all. Let's get up out of here. It's the 9:30. I started late. That's why we finished late. I was watching Brian and them. But if you are so inclined, Troy will be on. And as they like to call us, the FAMU Avengers will be on for the Monday night review. We're going to try to do two. We're going to try to do like a best of to finish the season. I don't feel right finishing with the Valley game. That's not the best of. That's the worst of. That's stuff to make you cuss. So we're definitely going to have the Mississippi Valley State. We're going to have one for that. And we're going to try to do a best of. So, talk about the highlights. What were the best moments of the season? And largely because I just feel like there's probably going to be a coaching change. I could be wrong. I kind of hope I'm wrong. But I also understand. Look, I'm so proud of myself, Troy. I normally look. But catch us tomorrow, 7 o'clock. We're going to see if Brian's going to be on. I'll check. And we're going to do the Monday night review. Go back and look through this game film again, and pull some of the good plays, some of the bad plays, and some of the uglies. Get some school grades, and we're gonna have a little fun in the meantime, man. So, all right, y'all. For everybody here at HBCU Digital Network, man, the wife, the kids, the whole family, man. Look, y'all know I already appreciate you, and y'all know I love you to life, and there's nothing you can do about it. Y'all already know what's up and what's always gonna be. Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal.
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community. They also know how to turn up.
Does he have it?